Before we get this podcast started, there's a couple things that I want to address. Yes, I was gone for a long time. It's been a couple months, and I'm just now like popping up. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's on me. However, the Arts Block podcast will look a little different for real this time. There's a couple rule changes that I want to put in place before we get this pod started. And I feel like it's appropriate to do this now before we get into the flow of things. You dig? So let's just get this out the way. Rule number one, I will no longer be talking bad about other platforms that I don't like. So any other platform that I don't like or respect, I will no longer be talking about them on the podcast. Rule number two, there's no talking bad about other artists that I don't like. So any artist, any journalist, anybody of that nature that I do not like, I will no longer be talking bad about them on the podcast. And number three, there's only Wednesday pods until further notice. I was trying to do the 2 pod a week thing. I was getting burnt out, man. It wasn't really working. So pods only on Wednesdays. We're back to that format. Now, about the first two things, right? I really want to make this more of a positive space. Really want to make this more of a safe space. And how can I do that when I'm talking bad and bashing other people and platforms? So I told myself that I will no longer be doing that. So to honor that, I will get one last hoorah with all the different platforms and people that I don't like. And this is my last time ever doing this on the actual pod. So here goes nothing. Man, 3, 2, 1. I'm from the streets where the hood could swallow them in. Bullets will follow them in. There's so much coke that you can run asylum. The cops cone the shit top to bottom and say that we are prone to violence. But home, sweet home. And personalities clash and chrome is chrome. Ease prices up and down like it's Wall Street homes. Hey, yo, welcome back to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III. Listen, man, this has been a long-awaited thing. At least I know it has for me. I don't know about y'all, man. I really missed y'all. I really missed podding, man. I missed it. I'm glad I'm back in the field. I know y'all heard the public service announcement at the beginning of the pod. I hope y'all all know where we're going with the future of this thing, man. Listen, if this is your first time ever watching an Arts Block podcast or listening to the Arts Block podcast, hello, I'm Eric Curry III. I'm the host of this thing, right? I need y'all to do me a favor. I need to make sure that y'all can stay in tune and stay in touch with us over here at the Arts Block Podcast. So this is what you can do for me, right? If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a podcast, right? If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star and a review. Just say that this is the greatest pod you have ever heard in your life, and that will suffice. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. That is ERICCURRYIII. Or follow me on TikTok. Spelled out Eric Curry the third. Like it's literally the third, like spelled out. So yeah, do all of those things, man. Listen, I'm so excited. We're just going to jump straight into it. No warm up, no nothing. We're just going to jump straight into it. And I'm doing this for a reason because, I kind of formatted the pod so I'll be able to do this, right? So what are we talking about today? First thing we're talking about is how 2 weeks can turn into 2 months really fast. Then we're going to talk about how you have to just get back into the flow of things. And the main topic of today is art planted in the rocky soil. Don't worry, we're going to explain what that means a little bit later. So first thing on the docket, boy, that feels good to say. Listen, man, 2 weeks can easily turn into 2 months. And I think I underestimated how quickly 2 weeks can turn into 2 months. I was just chilling like, hey, man, I'm here. I'm outside. 2 weeks. We killing it. We got time. Little did I know, man, that semester started ramping up. Spring break was over. My relaxation was done. And little did I know, man, them 2 weeks flew by, dog. Them 2 weeks flew by, and I was like, you know what? I need another week. Then I was like, you know what? I need another 2 weeks. Then I was like, you know what? I need another 2 weeks again. And listen, man, it got to a point where I was like, okay, the semester's about to end. I can start podding again. And I was like, you know what? Give me another week. But then I can't wait no more. I'm here now. I'm back outside. So what have I been doing over those past 2 weeks? Well, I would love to tell you guys. I would love to tell you guys. Well, first things first, I think the most important thing that happened to me over these 2 weeks is I got baptized, man. I got baptized. I got dipped in that water, man. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Thank you. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You dig? I just want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I got dipped in that water. You feel me? Yeah, it was a crazy experience because I didn't really tell anybody it was happening because I just kind of wanted to be a thing that just happened and just kind of flew under the radar. However, I underestimated how large my church is that I go to. And very quickly, a lot of people ended up finding out about my baptism. Some were mad that they couldn't go. Some were like, oh my goodness, congratulations. But it was all positive energy, all love, all love. And I appreciate everybody that showed love for me getting baptized, man. It was amazing, like, event. I felt like I really feel renewed. And that, like, partially, like, is why I did the rule changes, because, man, like, I just needed to show, like, the newness of the pod, the newness of myself, right? But yeah, man, like, that was such a crazy experience, and I'm so grateful to have done that. It was literally the best thing, the best decision I've ever could have made in my life. And I don't think I would have made that decision if I didn't take the break, honestly. And I'm being so honest when I say this, because I was, like, so busy on work and so focused on other thing else. God wasn't really a priority. But when I started prioritizing my relationship with God, like, really prioritizing my relationship with God, then it was kind of like clear cut that, oh no, I need to make this decision. And especially for the next season I'm about to go into my life, I just felt like it was the right thing to do for, like, where I was about to go. And I'm so grateful for everybody that came. I'm so grateful for everybody that supported. I'm so grateful. Like, the college leaders at my church, they wrote me a card and they all signed it with personal messages. And I just feel so loved and so appreciated for that moment. And I definitely won't overlook that. And I definitely won't take that for granted. And that is actually like a huge, that's actually like a huge topic of what art in the rocky soil means, and what that means biblically, right? It's actually a biblical, like, backing behind that. So next thing, what is happening? What else is happening? Well, I would love for you guys to know that I started a Substack. I started a Substack. I have a blog, ladies and gentlemen. There's a blog for the Arts Block podcast. It's called Beyond the Block. If you go to Substack right now and search up Arts Block Podcast, search up Beyond the Block right now, we're going to pop up. The first Substack post is posted right now. It's posted right now. As y'all are watching this, you can go on Substack, and then you can not only watch the podcast on Substack or listen to the podcast on Substack, but you can also read the blog post. Boom. That's a twofer. That's a twofer. That's a two-for-oneer right there. So I don't know if y'all know, but now y'all know that the Arts Block podcast is on Substack now. And we doing big things. We moving, we evolving, we growing, and I'm proud of us. You dig? I'm proud of us. This is a big accomplishment for us at the Arts Block podcast. We're on Substack. So go ahead, look at Beyond the Block, read. I also am posting a vlog every once a month. So there's going to be a new vlog once a month on Beyond the Block. There's a vlog posted now. First vlog about like the retreat that I went on a couple months ago. You feel me? It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Well, that wasn't a couple months ago. That was like a month ago. But it's a vibe. So go ahead, check that out. Do that for me. Look at that right now. And lastly, secondly, there's another series that I'm starting alongside the Arts Block podcast that I don't have a name for, but it's basically going to be what I was doing on the podcast, but just as like separate, shorter term videos, right? So instead of me making like a 40-minute podcast about certain things, it's just going to be like a 10-minute podcast about like these different topics, or like 10-minute segments of me talking like of these different topics. You dig? I don't have a name for the series yet, but I'm working on the first one now. I'm currently editing the first one now. I don't know when that will be out. I might have to like re-record some stuff and all of that stuff, but we're working. I got a lot of content coming out for y'all. I'm shooting a lot of content. I'm doing a lot of stuff for y'all, man. So don't think I'm just like I was just sitting on my ass during these 2 months. Nah, I'm really working. I'm really locked in. I'm really trying to progress and be better as a podder. You dig? So let's get that out the way. I wasn't just playing. I wasn't just, I was focused on school, but I was also worried about how can we come back, grow, and progress and just add towards the content side of the Arts Block podcast. And lastly, man, my heart for podding is a little different. My heart towards the craft is a little different, man. I'm not gonna lie. My focus is different. My drive is different. My wants, my needs, everything's a little different with me, man. I think like, like the want to be great is different. Like, yes, do I want to be the best? Yes, but my reasoning for being the best is different, man. Not because like I want to be acclaimed and I want my name to be like in lights and all of that stuff, but I want to be the best so like I can so we can highlight the positivity in the culture, not so we can like highlight everything else that's been going on. I've been seeing a lot of BS being highlighted these past couple weeks. A lot of men saying certain things that I don't approve of, that I don't think men should say, especially about women. A lot of people jumping out talking about some craziness, and I just want to dead all that, right? I really want to make things about the art, and I really want to push positivity when it comes to the art, and I really want to build artists up. So if y'all not into that, if y'all don't want to get into that, then go ahead. This ain't the place for y'all. Y'all can go ahead, unsubscribe, unfollow, do whatever y'all need to do. But this is going to be a place full of positivity, pushing P for positivity, pushing A for art. You dig? And then this break was probably the best thing for me creatively, because now I can think clearer now. I got a lot of my obligations out the way. So now I can just focus on this full time and make this the best thing possible and put all time, energy, thought, effort into growing this brand that I call the Arts Block Podcast. You feel me? And growing the brand of Eric Curry III. So we're growing. Growth is happening. During this quarter, during the summertime, growth is happening. I had an amazing meeting. Shout out Manny. I had an amazing meeting with Manny today, and I'm excited for what we got going on in the future, man. Summer's going to be huge. Summer's going to be huge. We're turning up this summer, man. But hey, that's enough about me. Let's talk about this art in the rocky soil. Now, what does that mean? So if y'all aren't familiar with the Bible, and I'm not mad at you guys if you are, Matthew 13, I believe, is a parable of the sower. That's what it's called. And it talks about like art, and it talks about like not art. It talks about a planter sowing seeds in different fields, right? Dang, you know what? Let me pull up. You know what? Let's you know what? Bible right here. Boom. Matthew 13. This is crazy. This is my first time doing this. But don't worry. This is I'm bringing this back to this is all going to tie back. Trust. So Matthew 13, parable of the sower, right? Basically it says a farmer this start from verse 3. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, he being Jesus. A farmer went out to sow a seed. As he was scattering the seeds, some fell along the path. The birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants Jesus, can I talk? The plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. Other seeds fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seeds fell on good soil where it produced a crop of 160 or 30 times what was sown. What does that mean? That was a lot. I know. So basically what that is saying, right, is that we as sowers, we as like planters or farmers, we plant seeds into people, right? Basically like sharing the gospel with people. And we share the gospel with people and they can like receive it in different ways. So they can receive it in a way where they can all right, boom. They can receive it in a way where like anybody like hears the message of God, they don't understand it, which is like the seeds falling on like the path. The seeds falling on rocky ground is somebody receives it with joy, but since they have no root, they last only a short time. Remember that. The seed falling among the thorns, are they like hear the word of God, but like the worries of life and deceitfulness of wealth chokes the word and makes it unfruitful. And then the seed that falls on good soil, basically like it just you reap what you sow, right? It sows good fruit 100 times, 60 times, and 30 times what was sown. But I want to talk about the art on the rocky soil, right? Because I feel like a lot of people are there when it comes to their art. So what does that have to do with art, right? I've noticed over my break that there's been a lot of people, a lot of artists in particular, who are creating out of places of scarcity, who are creating out of places of fear, who are creating out of places of like, oh man, like I don't know if this is going to be sustainable. I don't know if this is going to be happening for me, X, Y, and Z, right? And to me, that's creating art out of the rocky soil. Why, right? Because you create out of joy. You create out of this great joy for the art. You create out of great joy for creativity. You create and you're like, oh man, I'm so happy that I released this thing, man. I'm so happy to release this. I'm so happy for the world to see X, Y, and Z, right? But once it's released and it doesn't have as good of a reputation as you thought it would, or like or it doesn't get the numbers that you want, or the reception isn't as positive as you think it should be, you get so like tired and you get so like discouraged by it that you end up just like vanishing from the depths of artistic creativity and poof, be gone, right? You're done, gone out of nowhere. And to me, that's kind of crazy because like when you think about art and when you think about the growth of art, you have to think about like one is the why. Like, why do you create, right? If you're planting these seeds into people, like for example, right, in this example of like the parable of like the sower, when you plant seeds into people, you're not planting these seeds in the sense of like, oh snap, it like nowhere in the Bible does it say like watch where you're planting the seeds, right? Or like, oh, make sure you're only planting the seeds in good soil, or make sure you don't plant the seed in the bad soil. It's nowhere is it saying that, right? But it is saying, hey, be wary that your seeds might be planted in this type of soil, and if it does, this is going to happen. You feel me? So when you're creating something, not everybody's going to receive your art with great joy. Some people aren't going to understand it. Some people are going to receive it and be like, oh man, this is for me. This is the greatest thing in the world. Some people are going to receive it. Then after a while, be like, you know what? I thought I was rocking with this, but I'm not, right? But you as an artist have to stand firm in what you know your creative ability is. You can't go based off of, hey, this season right now was going great, but the next season might go terribly. Right? You can't go based off of like what season you're in. You just have to go based off of what you know, which is like, hey man, creativity is all I know, and the greatness of my creativity is what I want to accomplish, and that's what I want to do, right? So you can't look at the now. You have to be more future minded when you're creating, and I think that's the problem with a lot of artists. A lot of you niggas don't know what the future looks like. A lot of y'all don't even have future mindsets. A lot of y'all can't even imagine what a future looks like with your art and creativity, which I also contribute that to people not being in your corner, right? Again, like this parable of the sower, basically when it says like the rock, like the seed planted in the rocky soil, right? Like people receive it with great joy, but and it's really saying because people aren't being discipled, that's why they fall away from the faith. Like they receive it with great joy, but like the word just fades away. That's because they're not being discipled. And a lot of y'all aren't being artistically discipled, right? A lot of y'all there's nobody like holding your hand in the art, taking y'all through the hard times. A lot of y'all are walking this art thing alone, which you shouldn't be. But also a lot of y'all are scared to even admit that y'all are artists because of the backlash and things that y'all might receive or get. So a lot of y'all are sitting up here and being like, oh, well, I kind of create sometimes. I kind of create a little bit. I kind of do X, Y, and Z. I do this on the side when really this is your main gig and you really love this to death, but you're just scared to admit that. You feel me? And that's sad to me. Everybody should be free to create. Everybody should want to like express their art in a certain way. Everybody should be like, you know what? I'm creating this thing. And I'm creating this out of the love of the game and nothing else, right? Not because I'm care about anybody else's opinion, not because I'm like sitting up here fiending for just attention. No, because I'm creating this for the love of the game because I need to get this out. I need to get my creativity out. A lot of y'all aren't doing that. A lot of y'all being like, well, I want to be popular. I want to be famous. I want to be X, Y, and Z. I'm creating this content so I can be famous. Like I see a lot of people on TikTok all the time. Like, man, I'm creating this content so I can be famous. Everybody blow this up so I can be famous. X, Y, and Z. Da 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 da. Right? And I just don't think that's the mindset to have, because once you achieve that fame, then what? Right? Like once you achieve that fame, then what? I feel like if you're rooted in like good soil, I feel like if you're rooted in like a foundation of like, no, I'm creating this art for a purpose. I have a vision, I have a goal, I see a need in the world, and I'm here to fulfill that need. No matter what happens, you know what you're here for, right? No matter the highs or the lows, the storms or like the calm seas, right? You know what you're here for. You know what your purpose is. So you're just going to stand firm in that purpose. Like, we have to understand what our purpose is as artists. We have to know what our purpose is as creatives. We have to know what our purpose is, because if we don't, then Lord knows where we're going to go after that. Like, for example, right? Do you think somebody gets to the status of a Kendrick Lamar, for example, without knowing exactly what their art is meant to do, or what their art is meant, like who their art is meant to impact, or like a person of Spike Lee's like expertise and genius? Do you think somebody gets to that standard without like knowing that their art is impacting a certain community and what their art is for? You think those people didn't see hardships or anything during their like career, during their start, during even now? You don't think people see like, you don't think they've like discovered hardships or like went through battles and people was telling them no, and people saying, man, this is whack, or all of that? I bet you they did. I'm willing to put all the money I have on the line that they did. So if they went through that and now they're considered legends in their field, what do you think that you have to go through to get to that point, right? And a lot of y'all are going to hear this and be like, I don't want to do that. A lot of y'all are going to hear this and be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me, which is great. We need to start getting y'all out the way anyway. All the people that are sitting here and being like, man, I don't think this art thing is for me. I think it's going to take too much work. I can't do all the self-reflection of like why I want to do this. Man, go ahead and be an accountant. go ahead, go to school, get your CDL, go ahead, get your go to trade school, become a plumber, a technician, learn how to mount TVs on the wall. Nigga, the TV mounters, they be getting paid. Go ahead, mount some TVs on the wall. There's a career path for you. This art thing just isn't it. Because if you are not willing to stay with it through the highs and the lows, if you're not willing to stay consistent with it, if you're just in here for a quick bag, that bag's going to run out quicker than you got it, buddy. And I know y'all not going to believe me. Y'all aren't going to believe me, but it is what it is. And if you're not going to believe me, you're not going to believe me. It is what it is. But just know, like, what a lot of the things that I see y'all doing isn't sustainable. And I just want y'all to know that. And I just want y'all to be safe and like be careful and just like going out and like producing things that aren't sustainable or just aren't like able to continue. You feel me? Like y'all are producing all of these things that just aren't able to sustain, that aren't going to stick, that aren't like meaningful, that don't have substance, that are in rocky soil. So when you don't receive the praise, or you don't receive the accolades, or you don't receive the recognition that you want, everything fades away and you're like, oh, you start questioning yourself as an artist, and your pride starts hurting, your self-esteem starts falling, and all of these things, right? Which, is not that great. It's not that great for you. However, I want you guys not to be in that position, because I was in that position. I'm not gonna lie. Senior year of high school, I was still acting, and I thought theater was gonna take me far and wide. I thought I was going to go on Broadway. I thought when I went to college that, theater was going to be the end all be all for me. Boy, was I wrong. When I got to senior year of high school, I felt the art become in rocky soil. I felt like I started realizing, oh, my art isn't planted in a firm foundation, because now that I'm getting these no's, now that I'm like, I'm really shaky on this, right? And then that's when I knew I had to leave the art. I had to leave the craft because it started becoming too shaky. However, a lot of y'all, on the other hand, y'all are doing the exact opposite. Y'all are like, y'all are going in, finding this huge success, and then like after a while, it's getting shaky, and y'all trying to like fight your way through it. But then like y'all are kind of dying inside, trying to like reach success that you know you're not going to have. Bring back the real artists that actually care about the craft, and that's any art, right? Not just music. That's TV, film, acting, directing, writing, poetry, uh, painting, sculpting, whatever the case may be, right? Like, I don't care if you are a breakdancer on the street. If you really care about the art of breakdancing, then do that. But that lady at the Olympics that did the little squirrel pose, we know she didn't care about the art for real. We know she wasn't one of them, and we can confirm that. We know she wasn't the one. So, like, don't be the squirrel lady doing this art in rocky soil, squirrel lady, huh? But be someone who is like fully cemented in the art that they create. You dig? Listen, man, I I, I I'm just I don't want y'all to go through the same thing that I went through, and I also don't want y'all to go through the same thing that I'm seeing a trend of things that are happening, right? If I say tell people all the time that I am building the next like generation of artists with the Art Spot podcast. That's the goal, right? To build up the next generation of artists and send y'all out to create and just do all of the things like and just show your talents and creative abilities that God bless you with to the world, right? That's my goal. But I can't do that if I don't talk to y'all like this and if I don't give y'all a game like this. I have to be honest with y'all so y'all can go out and accomplish that goal. Some of y'all are just too scared to create, which, you know, is cool, to each his own. Some of y'all shouldn't be creating at all. Some of y'all should pick different fields to create in. You all have to figure that out, though. That's an all personal journey. But my thing is if you're not in firm foundation of what your art is and what you are supposed to be doing in this world, your purpose in this world, how you can become that purpose. Like, if somebody asks you why you're rapping, your answer shouldn't be, oh, you know, I gotta make the bag for my family. Your answer should be something along the lines of, man, you know, there's a purpose in this world. I love making music because music made me feel like this growing up, and I just want to do that so I can make other kids feel like that, right? If you're doing comedy, you shouldn't be like, well, you know, I see Drewski do it, and you know, I think it's pretty easy. Now I should be like, man, you know, laughter brought me through a whole bunch of hard times in my life, right? And I noticed that, you know, during the hard times with my family, if I can make my family laugh, you know, that kind of like eases the tension in my household. So I just wanted to do that for other people. Like, it's not those exact stories, but it should be something along the lines. That is firm foundation of art. A lot of y'all niggas, y'all be a little shaky. Y'all be a little shaky, and I do not like that. All right, last thing on the docket. This is gonna be a really short pod because one, my computer's about to die, and two, I don't feel like podding for a long time. I just don't feel like podding for a long time for my first pod back. I gotta get my flow right. I gotta flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee, baby. You know, I gotta gotta do a couple jabs before I get back into the field. You dig? All right, so boom. You last topic of the day. You have to get back to it, right? Like, let's end this off on this note. What does that mean, right? Life is hard enough. Set yourself up to make your life easier over time, right? Don't be so stuck on what is happening in your life today that you can't prepare for the goodness of tomorrow. You dig? Like I know today is hard. Today is hard. Don't make tomorrow even harder by not just working your ass off today to get to where you need to be. You dig? So set new routines. Start working consistently, right? I do this thing called a rule of life, right? Where every day or week, I set a goal of like things to do physically, spiritually, mentally, and it's like physical, mental, spiritual, and mental, physical, spiritual, and something else. It's a last one. It's four of them. It's gonna be somewhere in the description or right here somewhere. It's gonna be somewhere on the screen. But I do things to like help myself and help like these four areas of my life, right? So I read for 15 minutes a day. I pray for 5 minutes a day. I try to go to the gym once a week, right? I do all of these things to set up a routine for myself, to set myself up, not for the hardship of today, but for life for tomorrow. You dig? Secondly, making habits, not excuses. You niggas complain too much. Y'all moan and complain and I don't want to. I'm tired and nobody cares, dog. Y'all complain too much. What excuses are you telling yourself to prevent yourself from getting things done? Just get it done. Nobody cares about the excuses. Everybody cares about the execution. And that takes me to my second point. How can you turn your excuses into execution? How can you execute? Like this should be the your thought process for now on. Execution. Forget the excuses, turn the excuses into execution. Yeah, you can't do that, but find a way to do it, dude. You don't have the best equipment, brother. If I told y'all how I record these podcasts, y'all wouldn't even believe me. But I get these Jones out, dude, don't I? Don't I get these Jones out to y'all? Like, come on, dog. Like, don't sit up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Cause I know if I can get these pods out the way I get these pods out, y'all can do anything. Y'all can do anything. There's literally no excuse. There's no excuse. And today's day and age, how much technology that we have, how much like things that we have at our disposal. You literally have a phone at your disposal. You might have a computer, might have an iPad. You have all of these things at your disposal. If you don't have a computer, go to a library. They have computers. Like, dog, there's no excuse to why you're not executing what you want to execute. Like, you're just not wanting to do it. And then lastly, what are you prioritizing? What is your priority of your day? Meaning, when you wake up, what is the first thing that you're doing? What is the first thing that you're doing? If the first thing that you're doing when you wake up is taking a shower, brushing your teeth, washing your face, all of that, that means self-care is your priority for the day, right? You're prioritizing your self-care. If you wake up like me and first thing you do is get on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter to see what happened while you were asleep, that means social media is your priority, right? Which I need to fix. I personally need to fix that. If you wake up and the first thing you do is get on that computer and start getting to work, that means work is your priority, right? So what are you prioritizing? Or like the first thing you do up is kids and you make sure you fix breakfast for your family and all of that. Family is your priority. What are you prioritizing throughout your day, right? What are we making time for? And like, what are we giving time to? So what are you making time for throughout your day? Like, what are you deliberately, okay, I'm going to make time to do this. I'm going to make time to do that. I'm going to make time to do that, right? And what are you giving time to? I know I give way too much time to TikTok. I give way too much time to TikTok. TikTok takes way too much of my time. TikTok and YouTube, they take way too much of my time. I could be doing way more things, but instead I'm on TikTok and YouTube. So what are you giving time to and what are you making time for? Because I'm also making time for those things, right? Like today I had to make time for a meeting that I had, a really important meeting. Like you have to make time, but you also have to know what you are giving time to make time.